A warm welcome to Goodwin live on Instagram. It's Monday, it's 7 o'clock, and just a reminder that we're back out again on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So every Monday and Wednesday we will be doing our interviews, and today we've got 4 different guests and not just boxers today. And I will, as I always do, start off with the last first as we introduce everybody that's coming on. And at 7:30 we're joined by Stuart Scott, a name that many of you may not be familiar with, but he's a big up-and-coming trainer from down in High Wycombe, a man that's got a very, very good stable, and we're going to talk a lot more about his stable as we go through. And before then, we've got a manager-promoter from down Devon way, I think he's in Devon, Stuart Davies, a man that exchanged being a policeman to setting up his own business and getting involved in the mad world of boxing. So we'll find out how and why Stuart done that. Before Stuart, we've got a man that you've seen on Box Nation many, many times, a man that's a student of the sport, one of the best journalists out there, Mr. Steve Lillis. And we start off with a young man who's undefeated in 6 fights. He's a man that has done phenomenally well as a young boxer. He's 6-0 already, and he's looking for his 7th fight. So we're going to try and get hold of Jerome Campbell now. So let's try and track down Jerome. Let's have a look. He's got the nickname or the moniker of Stone. So let's have a chat with Jerome. There we go.
Yes, Steve.
Jerome, how you doing?
How you doing, man? You good?
I'm good. Are you keeping yourself ready while you're waiting?
Stay ready, man. You know how it goes. You know the name.
You keeping fit?
Yeah, man. I'm good. I'm in shape. I'm literally a couple kilos overweight. It's easy, man. Nice for me.
Yeah. So obviously you're going to be trying to keep in shape, hoping for one of these decent fights that could come up with one of these behind closed doors shows. You know.
Well, that would be ideal for me, man. That would be the perfect scenario to get a chance at one of these, probably like Matchroom boxers or one of these Frank Warren boxers, you know what I'm saying? Because I really feel like I can expose them people as well. And I believe in myself, I believe in my ability. So for me, it's just another fact.
Yeah. So tell us about your training regime. You were with Xavier Miller, weren't you, down at IQ, and you left Xavier. So
yeah, we parted ways.
Tell us about your training now.
So now I'm training with El Austin, champion maker. And yeah, it's just more old school, but you know, it's thorough. We do a crazy most of the training is sparring, because at the level and age that I'm at, I'm not really gonna learn more in terms of my ability in boxing. It's more just like I need to start enhancing my skills and start mastering the style that I wanna execute in the pro ranks. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of sparring. We do a lot of runs, a lot of groundwork. We don't really do too much pad work. We do a lot of bag work. And yeah, it's just there's nothing complicated to it. Do you know what I'm saying? What I'm good at is what I do.
Earl's been training for quite a while, hasn't he? He's
got a long career in boxing training. I think it's like 40 years maybe.
Yeah. It
could be a bit less or a bit more, but that's what I think it is.
So tell us about your amateur career, because obviously you turned pro quite late, didn't you? So
yeah, well, I started boxing quite late. Like, what people don't really understand is I only had 3 amateur seasons, and I managed to fight. I think it was 30 odd fights. So I had 30 odd fights as an amateur. But if I'm completely honest, it may sound a bit cliche, but I'm a completely different boxer to what I was as an amateur. And there's a lot of people that can vouch for that too. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people that I've met in the amateurs and then met as a pro, or see me perform as a pro, it's like 2 different boxes, because now as a pro I'm more independent with it. Whereas as an amateur, I felt like I was always relying on the gym and the coach. Whereas now I feel like I know enough about boxing. My IQ in terms of boxing is high enough for me to rely on myself. Do you know what I mean? But my amateur career, 35 fights. I think I won 20 of them, and I boxed at the last couple fights. I kind of boxed out of my depth. I boxed people with like 100+ fights, only to get the experience, because I knew if I'm gonna go pro, I want to be able to say that I've mixed it with some quality boxers. Do you know what I mean? But
Who were
I won the Box Cup.
Who were some of the best boxers you boxed as an amateur?
I can't even remember names. You know, like some England boys, some GB boys, or they're GB now, I think. I can't even remember names, to be honest.
Have you boxed any of the people that are pro now?
Yes. Who did I box? So I boxed Mark Butler, who's under your promotion. I boxed him twice. He beat me twice in the amateurs. That'll be a wicked fight in the pros as well. Obviously, you know, I boxed Dennis from IQ as well. He don't want no smoke. You know that as well. Who else have I boxed? I can't really think. That's the kind of people that under the Goodwin banner at the moment that I've boxed, I think, still.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, in your weight division, the fight that was going to happen was Liam Dillon against Dennis for the English title, wasn't it? That was a fight that was there, and obviously it got suspended, cancelled.
Listen, Steve, if this is what I'm saying, people have to give you credit, because I don't know how the hell you lined up that fight. I don't know how the hell you got a guy with 7 fights with no really caliber about him to fight for English title. I don't know. You're very good at your job, Steve.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, man, 100%. That's why I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're doing.
So
and it's not disrespect. It's not disrespect. It's just straight facts. Boxing, if you're getting sensitive, you're in the wrong sport. It's business. It's just straight facts and business, man.
No, it's true. I mean, listen, I would say we spoke quite a few times, haven't we? And one of the things that I say about you is you really get the business of boxing, because a lot of fighters don't actually get it, but you really do get it.
This is one thing, yeah, that I can probably, without sounding egotistic, I know that a lot of boxers right now, my head is screwed on a lot more than some. Do you know what I mean? I really understand just not even boxing, just business in general, how it works. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially as well at my age. Like I'm willing to fight. And I said to you my last fight, I said, anybody in under the Goodwin banner, ask me to fight and I'll fight them.
You do so that.
At super featherweight or lightweight, any boxer under the Goodwin banner, I'll fight them. And it's not cocky, it's not being arrogant, it's because I believe in my ability. I'm a professional boxer. I believe in my ability and I know what I can do. It's not about personal or disrespect. No. It's business. You know what I'm saying? And I even take fights at super lightweight and selected fights at welterweight.
No, we don't need to do that. I know you would,
but I believe, listen, Steve, no disrespect. I believe there's certain boxers that I can beat at that in them weights.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, sometimes, but again, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not necessarily about the weight; it's about the talent. And I do understand that talent beats weight at times. I mean, I accept that.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I accept that. But so, in terms of your dreams and aspirations, where do you honestly feel? What do you feel would be a success in boxing? What level do you think you need to get to say, yeah, I've had a good career?
That's the thing about boxing, man, because if I don't make it to where I want to be, it won't be because of me, because I work hard. I put everything into boxing. It will be because of the politics. Now, I could sit out, like, personally, I want to obviously be a world champion. Do you know what I mean? Or compete at that level, which I know if I get opportunity, this is the thing, Steve. If I get opportunity on any platform, I'm gonna grab that with 2 hands, and I'm gonna take that chance. No one needs to babysit me. No one needs to guide me. No one needs to show me what to do, tell me what to say, tell me how to perform. You just put me on a platform and watch me perform. That's how it's gonna be. Aspirations, obviously, world champion. Like, for me to sit here and tell you I don't want to be a world champ, then that just goes against everything the way I carry myself. I said this before on one of my lives. I carry myself like a champion. When I walk in the gym, I act like a champion. I talk like a champion. You get what I'm saying? I'm not rude or disrespectful. But if someone wants to take that road with me, then that's the wrong road, because I will rip people to. If it's a verbal or mind games or tactical games, I'll rip them to shreds. They don't want to try and chat with me, man. Simple, innit? You know what I mean? Simple. I mean, I'll beat people in the mind before I beat them in the ring.
Yeah, there won't be no problem about you getting the opportunities. You'll get the opportunities.
That's what I'm saying. If this COVID never happened, then this year I would have easily been picking up a belt, 100%.
No,
That's
for
just
sure.
facts.
No,
That's
for
just
sure.
a fact. And it
No,
wouldn't
for
be
sure.
you wouldn't even have to, you wouldn't even have to protect me and give me a belt against, I know, a journeyman with a lot of fights or who's had a decent record. I'll fight a prospect. I'll fight a prospect with a better record than me. I'm confident.
Yeah.
It's not cocky. It's not arrogant. I'm confident. I believe in my ability, and that's what a lot of boxers they lack.
Well, listen, you're gonna get opportunities, and you may get the opportunity. I think there will be opportunities for boxers this year if our boxers, if everybody's fit enough, then and the fights are right, we'll take them. But I think there will be opportunities.
If one of these shows, right, these behind closed doors, let's say a fight's pulled out and they need 2 fighters to slot in it, you've got 2 undefeated prospects. There shouldn't be no reason why we shouldn't go and both fighters be up for that fight. I want to hear I need a warm-up fight. We've got, how long are we going to be out of the ring for? Nearly a year. I don't want people saying, I want a warm-up fight. I want this and that. Let's go for it, man. Let's fight. Listen, we're not trying to fool the public or the crowd. I don't want people spending money and supporting me when I'm not fighting people that I feel like is the same ability as me. I want to fight me or better. That's it.
Well, to be honest, you've got a refreshing attitude, Jerome, and I can't wait to get started with the meaningful fights because
respect, Steve. Listen, I'm telling you, man. You stick with me. We'll go places. I'm telling you, Steve. We're going places, man.
Good to speak to you, my friend. Thanks a lot for coming on tonight. And you take care.
I hope you and the family are safe and everyone's good as well.
Thank you, my friend. You take
yourself. Care, Steve, man.
Take care, Jerome. Take care.
See you later.
Cheers. And that was Jerome Campbell, a man that understands the sport of boxing. He's undefeated with a lot of talent, and he will fight absolutely anybody. He's ready to go, and let's hope that he gets his opportunity, and he may get it sooner, as I say, than anybody thinks. So from a fighter now to a man that writes some great stuff, a brilliant analyst on Box Nation, Mr. Steve Lillis. So let's try and get hold of Steve. Let's have a look down. Here we go. Just waiting for Steve to join us. See what Steve's been up to. Steve, how you doing,
Steve?
I'm good,
I'm
mate.
good, my man. I'm really good.
How you coping with the lockdown?
Oh, don't even start. Running up against walls. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just bored as in the word. I've watched every episode of Minder about 20 times over a day.
Was that one of your favourite shows then, Minder?
Yeah, until Dennis Waterman left and Gary Webster come in, it was shocking then. Not as bad as when Shane Ritchie tried it for a few episodes about 10 years ago, mind you.
Yeah, it was a great program. That was Arthur Daly was my hero when I grew up. Yeah, so I mean, again, no boxing, no sport. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, what are you doing? Am I just keeping yourself as busy as you can? I suppose there's not much writing going on either, is there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Papers aren't taking anything from freelancers. They're furloughing their own staff 3 weeks at a time. Some, I think, the Express, Mirror and Star, which is all the same group, I think they're doing that, or I understand they are. I'm not doing a lot. I'm going out and running about 10 miles every day, and that's it, Steve. I just try to keep some sort of structure. Still get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, now you actually lost a lot of weight a few years ago, didn't you, and started running. How much weight did you shift?
Nearly 4 stone.
Did you? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to do that?
I don't know. You know what? I've got a real addictive personality, Steve. I mean, I speak to you, not often, but when we do, I think I'm quite open about stuff. I used to be mad for boozing and all that sort of thing. I'm honest about how bad I was, and I stopped boozing, but I've still got that addictive personality. And then about 6, 7 years ago, I thought I want to run a 10K. So I started going to the gym, and then that's just taken over my life. I've done 7 marathons now, loads of halves, loads of 10Ks, and that's pretty much all I do, apart from go and watch punk rock bands and go and watch Fulham play and go to boxing. That's my life, that's it. Otherwise, I'll sit in the conservatory. If I did anything wrong and anyone wanted to find me, get in the back of my house, they could easily shoot me. I'd be in the conservatory all day.
Are you a Fulham fan then, are you?
Yeah, home and as I can. Been since 1968. I was first went down there when I was 6.
One of my friends used to do the presenting at Fulham. David Hamilton, do you know him?
Yeah, well, I've met him once or twice at events. I don't know. The guy that's the ex-Fulham players. He's obviously reading from a script.
So again?
The guy that's in there replaced Diddy David. He has these ex-Fulham players come on. Diddy David would interview him and he'd know everything. This guy is obviously reading from a script. We should have a campaign to get David Hamilton back there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he was Fulham through and through, though. He knew everything about everything, didn't he? He was a director at one point, wasn't he?
Yes, and 2010 Champions League final in Hamburg. He was elevated above the crowd on a crane doing the announcing. That's my great memory of David as a Fulham.
Yeah, no, he's still going strong, though. He's still doing his stuff, doing a bit of DJing, and he's still very well. And I saw him last month. He's going strong, but I think he really misses doing the Fulham stuff.
Yeah, and he's got a fantastic broadcasting voice as well.
Yeah, no, he has. He's done really well. So when it all, what are you looking forward to most when boxing comes back?
Oh, good fights, but you know, when is it going to come back? I mean, let's be sensible here. I mean, until then, you know, we discussed this. Until there's a vaccine or they do something, you're not going to go. When it can't, even if they found a vaccine tomorrow and that was marketed by the autumn, okay, the government would like you to say, right, we're all back tomorrow. Go football, go boxing. But there's so much more to it than that. You know, for a start, as you appreciate as a promoter, Steve, you've got to win consumer confidence straight away when boxing starts up. You know, are fighters going to sell the tickets? How many of them are going to be there because they've lost sponsors? It's going to be really hard for fighters. You know, there's guys who are 6-0, 7-0, and I'll be honest, some are kept going, you know, developed because they sell tickets. What's going to happen to those guys if they can't sell tickets? But even if it started tomorrow boxing, you've still got a long way to go. And with these behind closed doors shows, there's still only going to be so many fighters employed because they're border saying maximum of 5 fighters. And you might get Eddie Frank and Mick Hennessy of Channel 5 do one behind closed doors, matching their own fighters to give them work. It's just really bleak at the moment, looking forward to boxing and any sport in front of an audience. And as I say, when it comes back, hard work for promoters and how many will survive this. You know, if their sole income is boxing at the moment, how do they get the money to promote again? And another thing, will every venue still be open? I mean, I was speaking to a music agent the other day and he said he's rebooking bands tours for next year, which is all well and good, but half them venues might have been gone. There could be leisure centres gone where promoters go regular. So there's going to be so many headaches to overcome for boxers and promoters when we do get the sport back.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit annoying yesterday. They announced, the government announced, we could have a vaccine by September. Then all of a sudden the paperwork was published on it today and it failed the monkey trials. You just never know. You just don't know what's really going on, do we? None of us know.
Yeah, that's it. I think they're just trying to throw us a bit of hope. It's like, you know, one day there might be a vaccine by September. Then, you know, the next day it's failed a trial. Then today I was listening to the guy, Jonathan Van Tam, I quite enjoy listening to, of all the medical experts. And he was, you know, he was warning. He seemed to be, because we've had this talk today of people being able to go abroad maybe in August and for a bit of July. Whether he threw in that spanner in the works today when he said what he basically said was his big worry was what could happen come October, November when the weather isn't as smart as what it is now. So it's really worrying times, and you know, you really don't. You keep getting thrown these little bones and stuff, but is there any light at the end of the tunnel? I still can't see one, and you know, it's a long way, and some boxers will be desperate to get out. And I was speaking to one about a week ago, and who is, let's put it this way, he's not maybe going to be a champion, shall we say, but he's still dangerous for a lot of prospects. He's only lost one in about 10 or 11, he's knocked out the 5 or 6 of them. He's just resigned to not fighting for a year because he doesn't. He's too good to go on he doesn't want to go on the road, and he's too dangerous for a lot of fighters. And there was another one I know of who's lost. He had £1,200 a month sponsorship in things like petrol tokens, with a little bit of rent. All 5 sponsors went within about 24 hours.
Very hard for them, and again, I agree with you. I don't think there's any way for anybody to stage shows other than these behind closed doors. I don't know.
It's madness. MTK might have, the financial power to do that, but when I see, there's a promoter the other day in Boxing News, Mike Legali up here, who's a really nice guy actually, talking in Boxing News of fighters fighting for nothing. You can't expect that. It's professional boxing.
I agree.
You box for money. If you're going to fight for nothing, stay as an amateur, get on the Team GB and clock around 25 grand a year for sitting there doing nothing. Well, not doing nothing, 25 grand in your pocket, all your physio, all your food and all your accommodation paid. You got to fight. It's prize fighting. Fighters have got to be paid and they deserve to be paid. And
I think that's going to be another one of the problems. I've said this as well, that these fighters are going to get hammered down on purses for sure. And, whatever the situation, they're not going to get the money they used to, that's for sure.
They're not going to. What about, kids that are on ticket deals who can't shift the tickets anymore? Yeah. What's going to happen to them guys? They either go on the road or I guess they go straight in a fight straight away to see where they are.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very strange times. But as you say, till we get a vaccine, you're not going to get people going to these events, are we? And it's very odd. I mean, the O2, I heard Frank the other day saying he was hoping to do the O2 with a crowd in September. I hope he's right, but again, I just can't see it.
I hope he's right, but even if he is, it's that consumer confidence again. I mean, I spend a lot of the summer in Spain, and there's talk of being able to go out there again later on in the summer. Would I go there right now? Would I go there? No.
No,
I want to know. I'm going to go there safe, where the government of Spain and Britain both say, you're totally safe. You're not going to catch it by coming. I want to be told and assured that by people who know a lot more than me.
Yeah. Until then, we've got to see. Well, Steve, let's hope boxing comes back. Let's hope you don't get too bored, and make sure you look after yourself, my friend. And we'll catch up again soon.
And John, I'll give you a ring towards the end of the week, Steve. We can have a chat, chew the fat over. I'm here all day, so.
100%. Yeah, it's always good to chat, Steve. Yeah, give me a bell.
You take care. Stay well, Steve.
Thanks, mate. See you later. And that's Steve Lillis, who's a very interesting man who's done a hell of a lot in boxing. Now we're going to touch base with a fellow promoter and manager from down in Devon way. Stuart Davies has done his own shows. He's had the trials and tribulations of being a promoter. Steve, can you press the log out button for us? Cheers. And then, Stuart's done his own thing. So let's see what Stuart thinks is going on. He's got some of his own theories about this virus. We won't go too much into that today, but he's a very interesting man. So let's now touch base with Stuart. Let's touch base with Stuart. Here we go.
Good evening.
How are you, Stu? You well?
Yeah, not too bad. Busy day as usual. Keeping myself busy.
What are you doing with yourself at the moment?
Well, I'm just building or finishing off my own house that I've been building. I'm not the best DIY person in the world, but I've been doing a fair bit of painting and a bit of tiling and a bit of this and a bit of that. So things are getting sorted. But yeah, building mostly. I've got some properties that I'll be building later on this year, but with this lockdown, it's all a little bit tentative at the moment where we're going to go with it. So it's a little bit difficult.
And what's your view of all of what's going on boxing? How do you view boxing in the scope of everything that's going on?
Well, obviously, Steve, that I promote. I've been promoting for a long time martial arts and other promotional type setups, which I've taken a bit of a backseat to now. But with the martial arts side, I had a cage event that was running this Saturday, which I've had to cancel, which my son sort of runs for me with my help. and that financially has been quite difficult because we've had to cancel it. And also, the venue is the same venue that I use for the professional boxing shows, and they're part of the university campus here in Weston-super-Mare, and obviously that venue is totally closed. So, like many other venues all over the country, I'm not sure when we're going to get access to it. I have tried to contact the manager, which I have had emails from, to try and book some dates later on in the year. But as you were saying in the previous interview, I just don't see anything happening now really till October, November, December is being optimistic. And I think in the new year, small time promoters like myself will be operating again. I don't see it happening this time, over the next 4 or 5 months. I really don't.
And how do you feel that will impact on boxers? Do you think boxers will all come back? Do you think we'll lose some from the sport? What do you think will happen?
I think professional boxing as a profession is very difficult anyway. As we know, a lot of professional boxers do other, it will be whether they can sustain a fitness level and an appetite, and you have to be keen to come back to professional boxing. So I think maybe we might lose some. I think we might lose some just purely because of the fact they need to earn money and they need to finance their life with their mortgages, their kids, their families, their bills. So I think it's a very difficult time for professional boxers that rely solely on that income, which we've already discussed in some of the interview coming along on this live stream.
So I know you told me before, you formerly a police officer, worked in the police force, and obviously then went into got involved in combat sports. What made you get involved in the combat sport arena?
I've always been involved in martial arts since I was 7 years old. So I started judo when I was 7. I started karate when I was 9. I got my black belt when I was 16. I had my own club at 20. I was teaching and training. I had a full-time professional martial art boxing and weights gym for over 20 years, all with the blessing of the chief constable, because I had to have permission to do that. It was a hobby turned into a career, really. My martial art side of things was a hobby, and then I started doing shows back in 2000, which were predominantly kickboxing, K1. And then we had a couple of people that came out of the kickboxing background that did really well. George Katsimpas was one. He was a kickboxing world champion that fought Anthony Small at the York Hall for a Southern Area title. So we had some successes, and the transition into an amateur boxing club, which was part of the setup of my gym, which I had, which has now been taken over since I've progressed onto professional boxing. But to be honest, the professional boxing came about from Jack Bowers and the Bowers boys at Peacock Boxing Gym when George went to London to train. Jack took him under his wing. So that's where the professional boxing came in. I've had a trainer's license since 2004. And then I sort of co-manage, the official manager is Matthew Slater under our Dynamite Boxing, and I'm the promoter. So it's been a sort of a journey that's sort of blossomed into the sport of professional boxing, which I really enjoy. I've met some amazing people, been involved with a lot of great trainers. The late Enzo Kawasaki had a lot of time for me. I took boys over there, spent time with him personally. Really nice guy. Again, Jack Bowers, God rest his soul, was another well-known sort of figure in the boxing fraternity in London. I still obviously keep in contact with Peacock Boxing Gym when some of the other guys go there training. One of our pros is based in London at the moment, Vladimir Georgiev, which has been on one of your promotions. Yeah. So it's been very interesting, and it's a completely different world to the martial arts, because as Jerome, the boxer that was interviewed? Yeah, it's a profession. It's got to be treated as such, and it's business, and that's the way it's got to be.
Do you still have a passion? Do you still have a passion for pro boxing after all this time?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I always. The funny thing is, Steve, as a promoter, we always have difficulties promoting these shows, and running up to them, it can be very stressful. You can divert some of that with other people, but what happens is you get fed up with things, but when you have the show and the night and the boxers, and you get to speak to the boxers and see how, watch them fight and their passion for the sport, and you enjoy the fights, you sort of forget about all the negative stuff that's gone on to get to that point, and you're looking to do the next one. And it's a bit of a cycle, really. You try and I suppose you're left with the sweeter part of the bitter pill, if you like. Once the show's, you get into that point to put the show on, can be a real headache. And then you have a really good show and some great fights, and obviously you've experienced it more than me. And you go away from there thinking, wow, I really enjoyed that, and I want to do another one. And probably a week before that, you were thinking, I'm never doing this again. I've had enough. Do you know what I mean? It's just I've finished. But you just end up coming back round, and it is very difficult. Like I said, I'm quite a minnow in the land of promoting, but I really enjoy it, and I've had some great nights, which has cost me a fair bit of money. But
listen,
the way it is.
I hope you have many more good nights. Thanks a lot for coming on tonight. Really good to speak to you. I'm glad you're well, and you stay safe, and we'll catch up soon, my friend.
Yeah, likewise, and stay safe, mate, and look after yourself.
We'll see you soon, Stuart. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yes. That's Stuart Davies, who's given a lot of his life towards combat sports, martial arts and boxing. And now to a man who's just embarking as a coach on the professional arena, but he's been an amateur coach for many, many years. Very talented coach, and that's Mr. Stuart Scott. So we're going to try and get hold of Stuart. Here we go. Stuart.
Steve?
How are you doing?
Very well, my friend. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. What have you been up to?
Homeschooling. I think that's probably the main thing that I've been doing. Homeschooling, lots of walking, and just really missing the gym, to be honest with you. But it's been hard, hasn't it? It's been a long time now. I think it's the longest I've gone without having boxing in my life, like most of us, for as long as I can ever remember, since I was tiny. And I'm missing it, mate. Missing it.
You do know that the government have issued a rule now that you can train your pros now. Do you know that?
Yeah, I've got Hammer coming over tomorrow. Actually, I've got him coming over. I've devised a little social distance friendly session, if you like. So we're going to work on his feet. We're going to work on his head movement. Just see where his fitness is at, that kind of thing. So I got him coming over tomorrow morning. Funny enough, because at the moment they said let's get on it again. I just want to get back on it again. So I mean, he's fasting at the moment, so he won't be working too hard tomorrow. But just a bit of technicality, just keep him in the mood. He's a good trainer, Hammer. You know him. He works his bum off. So I don't need to worry too much about his fitness. And so we'll have a nice little.
The question is though, how much has he been eating? That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, down the chicken. Well, the chicken shop ain't open, is it? So if the chicken shop's not open, I think he'd just about be okay. He's probably learned how to cook his own fried chicken in his kitchen right now, though. To be honest with you, but, I don't think he's done too bad. We've been keeping in touch, and I don't think his weight's that bad. So,
do you know what? I'm really impressed with him. His last fight was very impressive, and he's definitely going a long way. And again, you're a good trainer. So tell us a bit more. Because obviously, as a professional coach, you're fairly new to it, aren't you? But you've had a long start. I've been to your gym; it's very impressive. Tell us about your successes as an amateur coach.
So we, myself and John McInnes, who is my co-owner of the gym and where we joined, we started Wycombe High Wycombe Amateur Boxing Club. I think it was about 14 years ago, something along those lines, and there was a few grants put in, and John came in to train and I came in to train, and we essentially after not very long we started finding that Wycombe had some good kids. We were picking up quite a lot of wins. We started to get a few kids getting towards the latter end of the national title stage and stuff like that. And then we had an influx of people, because people started to like what we did. And we had an influx of people from not just Wycombe, but we had some people come over from Slough, which is where Hammer came from. We had some come and join us from Aylesbury. We lost our premises a couple of 3 years ago, but John found a new place, and the new place we love. It's brilliant. It's a really, really good setup. It's really big. We've got 2 rings. I think our squad at one point, it's gone down a tiny bit now, but at one point I think we had 50 Cardiff boxers, which for a piddly little town like High Wycombe is very, very good. And I think it's about the last 7 years now, I think we've had at least one national champion every year. And like I say, for a small club, because we're not a particularly big town, we're not a particularly big place, not like London. I'm pretty happy with the return, to be honest with you. It's been good.
I mean, I like the thing you've got around your ring. I think that's great, where you've all the champions, haven't you? You've got the names. That's just brilliant. Really nice touch what you've done there.
We had one last year. There's a fella called Big Lou who will go pro very, very soon. He's a very, very, very good kid. Powerhouse, real big puncher. And he said to me, he went out and he boxed the final of the national developments. He won it, and the first thing he said to me was now you're going to put my name on that canvas. And that's so that's the kind of, and that's why we did it. We had him on there, put on there like that to give people some encouragement. And yeah, so that was the first thing he said to me. Not well done, I'm so happy. He said, now you can put my name on that canvas, and his name's there in all its glory.
So as a coach, and obviously being a fledgling on the professional, what do you want to do on the professional side? How many fighters do you want to train? What are your aspirations in? What levels you want them to get to? What do you want out of it?
Okay, so I made a decision when I turned over pro that I really wanted to work with the people that I've been working for the last few years. So I want to take my amateurs that want to turn over and want to go professional from our gym, and I want to work with them. I'm not overly interested in taking people from outside, particularly if truth be told, because I've got a list of people in my gym who could all turn over in not that long a period of time, and we have got some absolute. I've got some really, really good kids. So therefore, yeah, I think I'm probably just happy enough just working with the people that I've had. I've taught most of them literally from scratch. And I think that, when you develop that kind of relationship with people, I don't really need to look outside of my own camp for work. My goal, listen, you've got to aim for the very, very top, ain't you? I want to be Manny Stewart. Manny Stewart and the Kronk. The Warriors could become the next Kronk. We've got masses of talent there, Steve. Honestly, I mean, Big Lou, when he turns over, I mean, you never seen a man punch like that geezer. I'm telling you, he punch hole in walls. Obviously, we've got Amma, who was, Amma's fantastic. I think he'll make a better pro than he was an amateur. We've got his cousins, his brothers, Ammas. There's a whole heap of Kianis out there who are all qualified. Seriously, mate, you are. Yeah, if you get in trouble with the Kiani family, you end up in a lot of bother, mate. There's hundreds of them, and they all box. They do. They all box. They're all good as well. You got the likes of Jack Durham in my gym. I mean, Jack he's a banger. He's 69 kilos, punches like heavyweight. I've got a real raft of serious talent in there, and that's why I don't really need to look outside of my own 4 walls to build what I think is going to be a really, really brilliant stable.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. So we're just hoping now we can get back in there soon and get cracking again, but we're going to be governed by what goes on out there. It's out of our hands at the moment, isn't it? So
it is, mate. Yeah, it's. I mean, everyone's in the same boat, obviously, but listening to what everyone else was saying on the, Jerome's obviously frustrated. He could use a fight, couldn't he, Jerome? So, and what Steve was saying, it's absolutely right. You've got what's going to happen. You can't get doctors. So I don't really see any. Certainly, if we were talking about the amateurs still, I don't see amateur boxing happening until at the very, very earliest October.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't even know if it'll happen that early. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one, and it's getting me down a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just one of those things. We just got to grin, bear, and get through it, and hope somebody comes up with some sort of treatment or vaccine. Then we can get back to business again, can't we? That's what we need,
mate. And that's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for at the end of the day. You know, the fact is that everyone's in the same boat. You know, we all, you know, none of us have really been training properly. And I do know that, you know, especially on the amateur scenes, not so much for the pros because they get quite a lot of breaks as it is, but the amateurs don't get a lot of time off. And I don't actually think in a way that it's going to be that bad for some of them to have had a little break. You know, because at the end of the day, when you look at it, it is only about 3 months. It's not, you know, okay, I know we're not going to go back for a while, but I don't think it's the end of the world for them to have had a little bit of time off, a little bit of a break, you know, learn to miss the sport again, you know, make you realise how much you love the sport. And when you come back, you know, really put the yards in and, you know, and have a real good crack at like the elite championships or whatever, you know. So I'm not that upset at the moment.
No, brilliant. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Stu. Very much appreciated. Good to see you still smiling.
You're
anyway,
welcome, my friend.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. If you don't smile, it's not worth it otherwise, is it?
No, good man. Well, listen, take care, look after yourself, and we'll touch base again soon.
Very nice, my son. Thank you very much for having me on, Steve. I really appreciate it.
Cheers, Stu. Take care, mate. Thank you
Cheers,
very much.
pal. Ta-da,
Thanks
bud.
a lot.
Bye.
Thanks for all the guests
Bye.
tonight.
Bye.
Jerome Campbell, who is calling everybody out, and he's very entertaining. To Steve Lillis, who's a man that knows everything about the sport. Great to speak to Steve. To Stuart Davies to give us an update on what's going on down in Western Supermare. And finally, one of the trainers who's going to make a big name for himself in the future years. Make sure you join us again on Wednesday. We're back at 7 o'clock. 4 more guests, so tune in then. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.